Hi, estate planning attorney Brian Barboza here, and today I'm going to discuss what are the differences between a traditional will versus a pour-over will. Now, if estate planning is something that you're considering or want to talk more about, please feel free to give me a call or go to my website, barbozalaw.com, and you can book an appointment to speak with me for free directly through my website. Okay, so what is the difference between a traditional will and a pour-over will? So oftentimes when I meet with people and they're doing a trust with me, they're kind of surprised that they have to have a will as well. So I think it's important to kind of talk about the differences between a traditional will and a pour-over will. So a traditional will is what most people conceptualize when they think of a will. It's the document in which you're going to itemize or declare what property is to be distributed upon your death and to whom that property is to go to. Okay, and a will then be probated in a probate court after you pass away, and so the court can order or at least monitor or watch the executor of your will disperse the property and whatnot. A pour-over will, however, is very similar in the sense that it's a will. It has to be executed the same way a traditional will needs to be executed. It has to be witnessed by two people who are not beneficiaries to the will. Has to be signed and dated by the person who's executing the will. So as far as the execution of a pour-over will versus a traditional will are the same. However, they do serve a couple different functions. So the pour-over will is going to be a will that is created when someone is doing a trust-based estate plan. So a trust, of course, I've talked about trust many times. It's a document that you create, and then you put all the property into this trust, and then after you pass away, the assets within that trust will be administered by the successor trustee without any court supervision or intervention. It's very the continuity of administration is great because it doesn't require the court process of a probate. However, in the event that there was, let's say, a mistake with the trust, or maybe you didn't take property that should have been titled in the name of the trust. Let's say you had some real estate and you did not change the name of the owner of the real estate to the trustee of the trust, and then you passed away. Well, that piece of real estate didn't actually make it into the trust. And so the problem is that piece of real estate would have to go through a probate. So the reason you would create what's called a pour-over will is the will specify that in the event that any of my property didn't make it into the trust, the will directs that the property is to then be transferred into the trust. So it's kind of like a safety net. It's a will that's created as a safety net or a catch-all in the event that there was property that just did not make it into the trust. Maybe you created a trust and then you acquired property after the fact and you just didn't put the title of that property into the trust, or you didn't amend the trust to add that to the list of assets that are to be in the trust. So in that case, you're going to want a pour-over will that will then, after you pass away, capture that property and direct that property be transferred into the trust. Okay, so that is one reason to have a pour-over will. In addition, a pour-over will also state something to the effect that in the event that the trust is not effective or has been revoked or whatnot, this will is going to transfer all the property to the executor, who is going to then administer that property the same as it would have been administered if the trust was valid. So it's a safety net, if you will. So there's not much difference as far as the mechanics are concerned between a traditional will and a pour-over will. But if you do have a trust-based estate plan, you will want to have a pour-over will. It's a best practice, and it should be with every trust-based estate plan. So that's it. Shorty but a goodie. I've just had enough clients to come in that were doing a trust and they're kind of wondering why they also had to have a will, so I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about. If estate planning is something that you're curious about or want to talk more about, please feel free to give me a call or go to my website, barbozalaw.com, and I book an appointment to speak with me for free directly through my website. As always, I hope you got something out of this video. Thank you for watching it, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.